Hello, everyone. 2020 has been a transition year and a difficult one because change is never easy. But as most of the tough work has already been done, 2021, while still intense, it's announcing to be an extraordinary year. We birthed the age of Aquarius community at the dawn of the Jupiter Saturn conjunction in Aquarius because the age of Aquarius values are everything that our world stands for, or I would say humans stand for: freedom, quality content, connection with like minded people. Each individual is unique, experiential learning, collaboration, getting in sync with the universe, and greater good over individual interests. We have to work collectively for the world at large. So, today and in the following days to come, let me apprise you with what the planets imply for us for 2021 and what we can do for ourselves in order to build our health, wealth, and happiness. So, when we are happy inside, the world automatically is happy, and we can actually, our auras extend to the world at large. Virgo, the major trends. It looks like a happy and healthy year ahead. Enjoy it. Will there be a few challenges? For sure. Will there be periods in the year that are less easy than usual and perhaps even stressful? Of course. But these things come from the transits of the short term planets, so you needn't stress out about it. Their effects are also very short term. They're not the trends for the year. Now, when these challenging transits pass, your life resumes its usual ease. The year ahead is very social. All the long term planets are in the social western sector of your horoscope. In addition, your seventh house of love is very strong and will get even stronger from May 14th to July 29th, while your first house to self is basically empty. There will be periods where the eastern sector of self will be stronger due to the short term planetary transits, but they'll never dominate. So, this is a year for putting others first and for cultivating your social skills. Your sixth house of health and work is very strong this year. And since Virgo is naturally interested in these things, the cosmos is pushing you to do what you most love. What could be better than usual? And what could be better than this? Uranus has been in your ninth house since March 2019 and will be there for many more years to come. It's important to note that this erratic planet can affect your life in a variety of ways depending on how you cope with the change. If you try to resist the change, then you may find this planet's effect somewhat challenging. If you welcome liberation, then you're in for a joyride. The planet Uranus helps you break free from the past chains and restrictions and form new and more joyful ways of interacting in your life. Your life may be disrupted, but you are then free from thinking inside the box. And new horizons open up. The area of your birth chart influenced by this liberating force is likely to be awakened and stimulated. Now, as Uranus moves into and through the ninth house of your birth chart, you have a sudden urge to break out of the usual daily routine and to experience new and exciting fields of interest. This could range from studying philosophy, religion, traveling, or even just exploring other countries. Either way, you're seeking to escape the mundane aspects of life and explore the higher realms. Thus, college students can be changing schools, changing courses, changing educational plans. More importantly, your worldview, your philosophical and religious beliefs are being tested and will be revised. This usually doesn't happen all at once, but is a process that takes a few years. These changes affect how you live your life. So, we have four eclipses this year, the usual number. Two will occur in your fourth house of home and family, bringing changes and shakeups there. One will happen in your 10th house of career, bringing dramas in that area. The other will happen in your ninth house, which is already subject to change and will bring some more change in the future. So, the major areas of interest this year are fun, children, creativity, health and work, love and romance, and foreign travel, higher learning, religion, philosophy, and theology. Your paths of greatest fulfillment this year are career, health, and work. So until May 14th and from July 29th to December 30th, these are the paths. And then love and romance are from May 14th to July 29th. Now, in regards to your health, it looks very good this year. For most of the year, there is only one long term planet, that is Neptune, which is in a stressful alignment with you. All the others are making harmonious aspects or leaving you alone. So, from mid May to the end of July, Jupiter will make a discordant aspect, but this is brief. Also, Jupiter's effects tend to be mild. This spells good health news. With health being good and your sixth house strong, the problem can be too much of a good thing is also bad, right? So it is good to focus on your health and pay attention through your regular disciplines. You run the risk of magnifying little things into something bigger or creating problems where none exist. For example, hypochondria. Just ensure you don't do that. You need to be careful about this part of yours. Don't magnify things. Good though your health is, you can make it even better by following your disciplines of healthy organic diet and your exercise. Now, in regards to your home and family, the last time that your fourth house of home and family was prominent in your horoscope was 2019. So many of you moved or renovated your homes then. Many of you experienced expansions of the family circle that year. Those of you of childbearing age experienced pregnancies. But this year, your fourth house is basically empty. Only short term planets will move through there, and their impact is very temporary. So, this tends to the status quo. It shows a feeling of contentment, satisfaction, and happiness with the things as they are. There's no special need to be stressed out and not to give undue attention here. Now, there are two eclipses in your fourth house this year. One is a lunar eclipse on May 26th, the other a solar eclipse on December 4th. These will reveal hidden problems in the home and enable you to make corrections wherever or to whomsoever needed. So, your family planet Jupiter will change signs briefly this year. For most of the year, he'll be in your sixth house of health and work, but he will make a foray into your seventh house from May 14th to July 29th. So, home and family attitude can shift this year. For most of the year, you will find yourself working to make the home a very healthier kind of a place. Probably you're installing home spa equipment, exercise equipment, and the like. If there are environmental problems, you will be working to correct them as well. So the home is as much as a health spa as a home. Right. So Jupiter's move into Pisces between May and the end of July shows that there can be repainting and redecorations going on. Therefore, you and your partner will enjoy these renovations. So, if you're planning major renovations, December 14th to the end of the year seems the best time. If you're redecorating, then probably January 1st to 9th, May 14th to July 29th, and October 7th to November 5th are the ideal times for you. In regards to your finance and career, your money house, though, is not prominent this year. This means that the finance per se is not a big issue, not an important focus to be stressed about. Health, work, and love are much more important for you in 2021. Your empty house, only short term planets move through there this year, shows a basic contentment with your finances as they are. You have no need to be anxiety about it or make any dramatic changes or unduly focus on them. Financially, the planetary transits of a given time will tell you a story. When they're kind, earnings increase and come with greater ease. When they're unkind, all kinds of challenges arise, but they're best dealt in monthly reports because they're short-term transits. So the job situation is excellent throughout the year. There are at least two important job opportunities happening. These can be within your present situation or with a new organization. Your services will be in great demand. However, your 10th house of career is also empty this year with only short term planets moving through there temporarily. So, health and love seem more important than the career. This would tend to be the status quo, which I regarded as a very good placement. Now, a solar eclipse on the June 10th occurs in your 10th house of career. This rules that the career games can get changes if you want them to be changed. You will benefit from good financial management. In regards to your love and social life, the love life has been prominent for many years now and becomes even more prominent this year, though it's a major area of focus for you, Virgos. It's really more important than finance, career, or even family. So singles can marry in the year ahead, but if it doesn't happen this year, it can still happen next year. There are two important relationships flagged in your horoscope. Both involve spiritual and highly educated or religious people. One seems to have more of a religious bent, while the other is more spiritual, but not necessarily religious. Now, whether you're single or in a relationship, there is going to be a lot more socializing in the year, more dating, more parties, more gatherings. You may meet new and significant people in your life as your social circle expands. So, by nature, you tend to be idealistic in love. You want perfection here, just as you want perfection in all areas of life. But ever since Neptune moved into Pisces in 2012, this idealism has become even more stronger. Ideal love exists, but you need to look at the right places. So with Neptune in your seventh house, your spiritual compatibility with your beloved becomes ultra important. As long as you have that, almost every other problem can be resolved. However, without that, it is almost impossible to resolve any serious problem. You will be attracted to spiritual people, poets, musicians, dancers, psychics, tarot readers, spiritual channels, and inspired kind of people. These kinds of people can also impart important information about the love that you seek and perhaps even act as Cupid. So, with Jupiter moving into your seventh house from May 14th to July 29th, and from December 30th onwards, you will be attracted by wealth and education simultaneously. There has to be emotional compatibility with any partner as well as spiritual compatibility. You may also find social and romantic opportunities in spiritual type of settings at lectures, seminars, or wherever the spiritual topics are there, or motivational workshops, meditations, or in like-minded group where you all are discussing the higher realms of mind and body. Now, in regards to your self improvement, you have a very deep spirituality, often expressed through service to others and often in the healing professions. Now, and since your spiritual planet, the sun, moves through the whole horoscope, all the signs and the houses in any given year, there are many short term spiritual trends that will be best discussed in the monthly report. So, this fast moving spiritual planet also shows that there are spiritual lessons in every department of your life, and that spiritual lessons come from all kinds of people and situations. Neptune, the most spiritual of planets, has been in your seventh house of love since 2012 and will remain there for many more years. The main spiritual lesson now are coming in your social and love life. You are making, and this has been going on for many years, spiritual type of friends, and they seem part and parcel of your spiritual growth. There is nothing like a relationship to reveal the dark corners of the soul. So while this can be unpleasant at times, it is ultimately very good. Neptune in your house of love shows the search for ideal love. Now, like discussed previous year's reports, also the trend is still very much in effect. You know what real love is. Anything less brings a subtle sense of disappointment. Now, some humans can love more than others, but always there is some limitations to it. Thus, there is always the feeling of dissatisfaction, even in basically good relationships. Are you undeserving of ideal love? No. The agenda here is to lead you step by step, inch by inch, to the real ideal love, the love divine, spiritual love. This love will meet all your needs in love, whatever they may be. Not only that, but you will feel loved regardless of whether you're in a relationship or not. The feeling is the same even in your personal relationships or professional relationships. In a relationship, there will be certain pleasures. Being alone will bring other kind of pleasures, but you will feel loved nevertheless. This love is infinite. There is no limit to it. It's always there. All you need is to connect to it. It's uncanny how the love divine will actually reveal itself to you. So stay blessed this 2020. Get into your natal charts, see where the transit, which sector of your life the transit planets are aspecting, and make the best of it, because you will actually, by the end of 2021, you will see it's uncanny how the love divine is revealing itself to you in the most profound days. So keep your journals ready. Understand your own self, because this is your me time. 2021 is your me time. Stay blessed and have a great year ahead.